In the wild, snakes don't choose direct confrontation with brute force. They patiently maintain distance, observing every movement of their opponent and waiting for the right moment to strike. Each encounter is quick, but the outcome depends on controlling the rhythm and distance. A single, well-timed strike is enough to decide everything. In nature, every snake hunt begins with absolute silence. Its long, flexible body allows it to slither close to the ground, gradually closing the distance. There are no obvious signs, no unnecessary movements, only slow and precise control. As the distance gradually disappears, pressure begins to build. The front of the body rises slightly, the head remains fixed, and the gaze is locked onto the target. Every small movement is monitored, as if every moment has been calculated in advance. Then the climax arrives. A lightning-fast attack, happening in a split second. No repetition, no wasted effort. After the strike, the snake immediately retreated, maintaining distance and continuing to control the situation. The snake's strength lies not in prolonged dominance, but in its ability to finish at the right moment. When all the elements are precisely aligned, a single brief action can decide the entire hunt. In swampy areas like the Florida Everglades, confrontations take place in tight, unpredictable spaces. Burmese pythons move silently beneath the aquatic vegetation, their long bodies exceeding 12 feet, each coil of muscle accumulating pressure. Opposite them, alligators maintain a low, almost motionless position, their jaws capable of exerting thousands of pounds of force per square inch. When distance is eliminated, the python actively approaches and seeks a point to constrict. It doesn't attack relentlessly, but tightens rhythmically, each constriction increasing in pressure to control movement. The alligator responds with biting force and body rotations, trying to maintain balance and create space to escape the constriction. The situation quickly becomes a tug-of-war between two opposing forces. The python maintains constant pressure, never letting up. The alligator seeks moments to open its jaws and rotate to break the grip. When the constriction is held in place and the rhythm remains uninterrupted, the advantage gradually shifts in favor of the python. In shallow water, where there isn't much room for bursts of speed, persistence can outweigh instantaneous power. The confrontation ends when the python is held captive long enough to gain control of the situation. Here, victory doesn't come from a single blow, but from the ability to maintain pressure until all movement ceases. Unlike snakes, mongooses enter the confrontation with a reflex advantage, notable for their reaction time of only about 20 milliseconds. Their agile bodies allow them to move lightning fast, dodging blows at very close range while maintaining the initiative. Their ability to observe and read their opponent's movements allows them to deliver decisive bites to weak points. Their tenacity and speed make them formidable predators despite their relatively small size. But the opposite is not just speed, but pressure. The king cobra raises its front body, expanding its range of control and applying pressure from the start. Its hissing creates a tense rhythm, forcing the mongoose to react constantly, leaving no time to be proactive. The disparity begins to become apparent. The mongoose still dodges, but its movement is gradually constrained. When a moment of error occurs, the snake launches a faster-than-expected attack, striking its target and disrupting the balance. The pressure immediately shifts. Boldness turns into caution. The mongoose retreats, then withdraws completely to avoid greater risk. In this situation, the king cobra maintains control and finishes with the advantage. Speed can create opportunities, but it's not enough to sustain an advantage when the pace is controlled. When pressure is maintained and timing is right, a single moment can determine the entire outcome. On dry ground, two completely opposite fighting styles clash head-on. The lion, weighing over 400 pounds and possessing thick muscles, advances steadily to close the distance, using powerful pounces, sharp claws, and bites to control its prey at close range. Conversely, the black mamba maintains distance and actively applies pressure. It moves quickly, constantly changing position, forcing the lion to adjust its steps. When the distance is reduced, the snake delivers a quick strike and immediately retreats. This rhythm is repeated many times, disrupting the lion's stability and decision-making. The breaking point occurs when the lion takes an unnecessary step forward. The distance is misjudged in an instant. The snake seizes the opportunity, delivering a precise strike and withdrawing. The venom begins to affect the nervous system, not immediately, but enough to change the course of the battle within about 20 minutes. The outcome doesn't stem from a disparity in power, but from a single wrong decision. When the gap isn't properly managed, the risks escalate rapidly. In nature, a moment of carelessness can lead to irreversible consequences. In shallow water, the anaconda holds its position and waits for its target to come within close range. Its body, over 15 feet long, lies submerged, with only its head visible. It doesn't move much, maintaining its position to prepare to latch on. Deer and buffaloes descend into the water to move and maintain balance. The distance is shortened unnoticed. The anaconda approaches from underwater, latches onto the body at the first opportunity, and begins to constrict. Once attached, the anaconda holds on tightly and increases the constriction force repeatedly. It doesn't let go. The prey tries to move, but the limited water space makes escape difficult. The sustained constriction reduces the prey's ability to react. The result occurs when the prey loses control of its movement. Size no longer provides an advantage in the water. When the constriction is maintained and the grip is not released, the outcome is determined. In mid-air, the initial advantage belongs to the eagle. From a height of dozens of feet, it locks onto its target and swoops down with precision, its talons tightening and lifting the snake off the ground where the snake is best controlled. But as soon as it leaves the ground, the risk arises. If the grip isn't strong enough, the snake counterattacks in mid-air. Its body twists nearly 180 degrees, bending back in an instant, seeking a point of contact with its attacker. It's a survival reflex, happening so fast there's no buffer to correct. The decisive moment comes quickly. The eagle adjusts its grip, maintains a safe distance, and thwarts the counterattack before it can fully form. With a swift jerk, it ends the struggle in a flash, regaining control and ending the situation right in mid-air. In nature, roles can be reversed in an instant. The advantage lies not in the initial position, but in the ability to maintain the right rhythm and control at the right moment, where even a small deviation can alter the entire outcome. Hawks are aerial predators with incredibly precise control over altitude and flight direction. Their broad wings help them maintain stability, and their keen eyesight allows them to detect subtle movements on the ground. Once they've identified their target, they adjust their flight angle, maintain distance, and wait for the right moment. Below, the rattlesnake, having just revealed its movement, is immediately locked onto by the hawk. Without hesitation, the hawk swoops down with lightning speed, its talons aimed directly at the head for a decisive first strike. The snake tries to react but doesn't have enough time. After only a few seconds of struggle, it's gripped and lifted off the ground, completely incapacitated. The fight is often decided in a single moment. A precise strike finishes it off. A slight misstep forces the hawk to retreat to avoid further danger. Snakes fight by controlling distance, maintaining rhythm, and choosing the right timing. Just one precise strike is all it takes. The advantage comes from reading movement and maintaining a safe position, giving the opponent no time to react when distance is controlled. The outcome is often decided in a moment, and even a small misstep can negate all advantage. On the vast savanna, the lion appears as a calculated and disciplined force of control. Each approach is a combination of muscular strength, coordination, and precise target selection. These incredible moments demonstrate that the lion's success is not based on luck, but on well-defined strategy and timing. On the African savanna, The lion is considered one of the most impressive land predators. A mature male lion can weigh between 350 and 500 pounds, with powerful shoulders to control large prey. Its forelimbs generate immense force, and a single swing can break thick bones. Short bursts of speed allow it to reach nearly 35 miles per hour over short distances, but endurance isn't its main advantage. The lion's true strength lies in its control and strategic positioning. It closes the distance before unleashing its full power, often getting within 30 feet before accelerating. The muscular structure of its chest and neck helps it grip prey heavier than itself. When hunting in groups, coordination multiplies strength, turning multiple individuals into a unified force. However, sheer strength alone doesn't guarantee success. Even a 400-pound predator must weigh the risks, as a minor injury can be life-threatening. On the open grasslands, every confrontation is a test of timing, precision, and restraint. The lion's dominance doesn't come from constant violence, but from calculated force used at the decisive moment. Unlike many other herbivores, wildebeest survives thanks to their disciplined migration and ability to maintain a stable formation over distances of hundreds of miles each year. An adult weighs around 550 pounds, enough to cross arid grasslands in temperatures exceeding 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Their intelligence lies in maintaining a reasonable distance and reacting in unison upon detecting unusual movement. At the edge of the migration route, a lioness lowers her body in the yellow grass and observes the rhythm of the herd. She doesn't choose the strongest individual, but rather looks for a small deviation in the formation. When an individual slows down for a split second and the distance drops below 30 feet, the acceleration is quick and precise. The wildebeest immediately changes direction to return to the center of the herd, but the rough terrain slows its momentum. The lioness approaches closer and maintains her position until the prey gradually loses its balance. After a few tense minutes, the situation was decided. A single 550-pound individual can provide energy for an entire pride of lions for days. This development shows that even though wildebeest possess intelligent migration strategies and considerable endurance, a small deviation in the collective structure can create an opportunity. On the vast savanna, survival depends more on collective rhythm than on the strength of individual animals. Tall and composed, adult giraffes can be over 16 feet tall and weigh between 1,800 and 2,600 pounds. Their long legs not only allow for sustained movement, but also provide a powerful reaction force when defending themselves. With superior vision on the open grasslands, they are rarely caught completely by surprise. A pride of lions silently positions themselves around an adult. They maintain distance, observing every move and waiting for the right moment. The giraffe constantly turns, maintaining a steady pace and not leaving any gaps exposed for too long. When a lioness attempts to approach closer, the giraffe immediately reacts with a powerful kick from its hind legs. The force of the counterkick forces the predator to retreat, disrupting the encirclement. After a few tense minutes, the lions slowly retreat, and the prey maintains a safe distance. Approximately 85% of lion hunts are unsuccessful, especially when facing large and highly alert prey. Giraffes demonstrate that height, stamina, and precise reflexes can provide a decisive advantage. On the savanna, even pack hunting doesn't guarantee success when the risks outweigh the benefits. Unlike many other prey animals, zebras rely on both strength and collective vigilance for survival. A mature individual can weigh between 500 and 900 pounds, with strong legs and a powerful kick capable of self-defense when necessary. They move in herds to form a continuous observation network, and even a small change in behavior can send a warning signal in seconds. A lioness lies low in the bushes, watching an individual moving slower than the rest. She doesn't rush to act, waiting until the distance is less than 30 feet. When the right moment arrives, she accelerates with a short, precise movement. The zebra reacts quickly, turning and trying to maintain a safe distance, but the terrain isn't wide enough to sustain its speed advantage. The lioness closes in and maintains a stable position, gradually reducing the prey's agility. After a few tense seconds, the situation was resolved. Other members of the lion pride then appeared to join in accessing the food source. This development shows that even though zebras possess good stamina and reflexes, a single moment of separation from the herd can change the course of events. On the vast grasslands, continuous synchronization remains the key to long-term safety. A single 550-pound individual can provide energy for an entire pride of lions for days. This development shows that even though wildebeest possess intelligent migration strategies and considerable endurance, a small deviation in the collective structure can create an opportunity. On the vast savanna, survival depends more on collective rhythm than on the strength of individual animals. When a buffalo inadvertently slows down and becomes separated from the herd, that protective structure is compromised. A group of lions observes from a safe distance, moving slowly and maintaining a coordinated formation. They don't act immediately, patiently waiting for the individual's reaction. The buffalo turns to face them and tries to maintain its balance, but the coordinated efforts of multiple predators gradually narrow the space for movement. After a tense period, the advantage shifts to the lion pride. The outcome is decided, and crucial energy is secured. A single individual weighing nearly a ton can sustain an entire pack for days. This illustrates that when faced with large prey, collective strategy determines success. In the savanna, even a moment of separation from the pack can alter the balance of survival. Beneath the dry grass and dense thorny bushes, warthogs are a species that always keeps a safe distance from danger. An adult weighs between 150 and 250 pounds, possesses thick skin, and long, curved tusks that can inflict significant injury. They often forage near the mouth of their burrows, so they can quickly dive in for cover, and this habit makes approaching them incredibly challenging. A lioness begins her hunt in silence. She stalks her prey for hours, moving low to the ground and using bushes about 3 feet tall to conceal her body. When the distance is reduced to less than 40 feet, the silence ends and the chase erupts abruptly. The warthog accelerates toward the burrow, but the lioness has closed the distance close enough to subdue it. The prey is nearly the same size as the hunter, making holding and dragging it a difficult task. After a short but tense standoff, the lion prevailed. This hunt wasn't just about brute strength. It required hours of patience, precise stalking skills, and sufficient stamina to control a heavy target. In nature, victory often belongs to the individual who waits the longest and acts at the decisive moment. Agile and precise, cheetahs are the fastest land animals, capable of reaching speeds of nearly 60 to 70 miles per hour over short distances under 1,500 feet. Their slender bodies and flexible spines allow them to change direction quickly, while their sharp eyesight enables them to detect movement from a distance. However, this speed is only maximized when the animal is in perfect health. On a hot afternoon, a cheetah with a hind leg injury moved slower than usual. A male lion noticed this weakness and approached with steady strides. When another male lion appeared nearby, the atmosphere turned tense with territorial competition. The cheetah tried to maintain distance, but the injury reduced its acceleration. The two lions narrowed the space and cornered their smaller opponent. After a short time, the situation was decided, and the advantage belonged to the lions. This encounter demonstrates that speed isn't always a guarantee of safety, especially when the body is weakened. Lions often eliminate competitors to reduce pressure on food resources in the area. On the savanna, order among big cats is maintained by strength, timing, and territorial control. Through each confrontation, the lion demonstrates that its strength lies not only in muscle power, but also in its ability to read the situation and choose the right moment. From small prey to creatures weighing thousands of pounds, each strategy is adapted to the specific circumstances. On the vast grasslands, true dominance is maintained through discipline, coordination, and precise decision-making in every moment.